Morning, everyone. We're back in the car, back to another Retire on Dividends Commuter podcast episode. So for those of you that are new to the channel or just watching this randomly, once a week at most, on Fridays, when I commute to work, I decide, okay, I'm just going to record myself and talk about whatever. And that's basically what this is. I try to talk about what people want to hear. But again, I just cover topics that, because, in my other videos, I have daily videos that I talk about Tesla, Coney, Jeppy, QQQY. I don't really talk about anything else but that, right? I get to the point and I move on because, number one, I don't have time, and number two, no one wants to hear it. So the purpose of this is just to cover, the BS, right? The rambling, the rants, the whatever. So, let's get to it. By the way, it's going to be dark, the whole commute, because I'm leaving a little earlier than usual. Left my house, a little before 4:30. The reason is I want to get a workout in at my work gym before I start work, because, as a busy father, it's nearly impossible to get workouts in. So you got to get them in when you can get them in. What good is retiring on dividends if you don't have your health? I've always been, obsessed with going to the gym. And after my second kid, I kind of got defeated with just, I finally understand why people talk about dad bod. It all makes sense now, right? I feel like this damn bug in my car. But yeah, the first kid, I was fine. I was still, going to the gym regularly, and all was good. But once the second kid came out, oh man, workouts, it's like a dream. Like, if I can get to the gym, it's like amazing. Forget during the week. During the week, there is no gym. If I do go to the gym during the week, like today, it's at work. On the weekend is when I have to go. And that's assuming there's no plans, no sports activities, no whatever. So, you got to do what you got to do. Typically on my lunch break at work, when I work from home, I go for a run or I do something in my little home gym. But enjoy your workouts now, guys, because once you have kids, oh man, everything is like boom. Which I guess it kind of leads me into the topic I was just going to bring up, and that's, YouTubing as a father, right? Everyone keeps saying, I don't know how you have time. And, it's kind of true, because our life, is insanely busy. Both my wife and I work full-time, and, again, we have 2 kids. So, to be able to push out content daily, it's not necessarily that easy, especially good content. It's not like my content is, what's the word? I don't know. It's not edited. It's not pretty. It's just a phone and a button. The hardest part is me updating a spreadsheet, which, that part happens at night. Typically. Obviously, I did some this morning because, sometimes Yield Max, they take forever, and they don't post, their holding update until, the following day. Which, whatever, it's fine. But long story short, is it worth it to do YouTube, especially when you have a family? And so far it is, for many reasons. Obviously, yes, once you hit a certain amount of subscribers and hours and whatever, you have to meet a criteria, and then you'll qualify for monetization, and then they have to approve you for monetization, and then once you get approved, then they start paying you for, I believe it's hours watched, and it goes from there. So the first month I made $123, but that was like a middle of the month I started, and that was whatever. Second month I made $1,000, which I was like, okay, that's more than I thought. And this month, I'm doing really good, and I made so far like $1,800, and there's one day left. So I'm about to breach 2,000. It's probably not going to happen, but I'm still close to $2,000 in 1 month. I know, I'm also keeping in mind that this could not, this may not last forever, or it may be a thing. Like maybe my channel will continue to grow and you guys will continue to watch me. And if that's the case, it's going to change my plans, right? Because the goal was always to obviously retire on dividends, or have my wife be able to retire on the dividends that I make. And now it's a possibility that YouTube income can replace my wife's income. And then guess what happens from there? My wife doesn't have to go to work, which means, she can handle the day-to-day with the children. And if she can handle the day-to-day with the children, that puts much less pressure on me on the day-to-day. It puts, we'll save money with daycare. We'll save money with cooking meals every night. And it'll just be like, I'll call it relaxation. Because right now, I'm kind of like Mr. Mom, because I work from home 3 days a week. And it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. We're both struggling. But yeah, so I just wanted to be, fully transparent. That YouTube is paying me decent. You guys don't have to pay the super chat thing, but I mean, every time I get one, I am just like so happy. It's amazing. People send these super chats, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's like I don't even know what it is. I think I hit a button on the video, and it goes somewhere. I think it goes into, whatever revenue it shows on my account. And obviously people don't have to do that, but there are very, very generous people that subscribe to my channel, and I am very appreciative for it. So I will continue to do my daily content, every day. So I'm covering Jeppy, I'm covering QQQY. That's, one video a day. Lately I've been doing it at night. Again, that's the one that if I have to miss it, I'm going to miss that one. But I'll probably get it the next day. And then the other video is TSLY in Coney. And that one I'll always do in the morning. Mainly because the information's always available so late. And it involves a little more time than the Defiance ETFs. So it's, it's fun. It's a good time, but it is work. But yeah, it's not all that hard. Again, I'm just hitting a button. I'm hitting record, and guess what I do after that? Nothing. I just post it. So all I do is I make sure that the audio is there. I go back to the video and I check, okay, is this, because sometimes when you record on your phone, if you don't hit that, mic on, for whatever reason, it defaults to mic off. But if you don't hit mic on, then, obviously you can be talking to yourself. All right, I got to turn down the heat in this joint. Put the feet on. All right, so what the hell was I going to talk about? I don't even know. So this week, Defiance have, they announced their distributions, and, QQQY kind of as expected. Jeppy, a little bit of a letdown. Again, still paying a 40% yield, which is still good. I know it's not 60%, but it's not bad. Let me turn off the heated seat. That's what's getting me. I'm like, why am I sweating my ass off? But yeah, so Jeppy was a little bit of a letdown, but IWMY made up for it. I mean, that one, bam, they're like 70% yield now. That was their first distribution, and they had the highest distribution out of everyone. That was truly amazing. I don't own IWMY because I don't know, because the Russell 2000, I never really looked into it. I looked into it the other day, and obviously they're smaller cap companies, most of which I've never heard of, at least the top 10. They're pretty, but I guess That's okay. It's still very, very diversified. I mean, they own a lot of different small cap companies. So if one small cap company goes down in the Russell, you're probably not even going to notice. You know what I mean? So I'm going to look into, my plan today is when that open bell rings, if I have the time, is I'm going to use whatever buying power I have based on my account balance that was sitting there, plus I have $250 that goes in every week. Today is that day. However, the $250, I know Charles Schwab plays games. Sometimes they say you can't use that to buy certain stocks, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, honestly. And because when I tried to buy, I think it was Tesla or something else, I don't even know, but and it wasn't letting me buy it. I asked the guy and he said, oh, that's a day trading stock. I'm like, what are you talking about? So in summary, Charles Schwab sucks so far, but if I can't use the $250 today to buy QQQY, JEPI, or IWMY, then I'm gonna call them about it, because it's the dumbest crap. I'm sorry for again, I said I'd stop cursing on these videos. The commute one, again, I can't. It's hard. I'm commuting to work. People are the worst. They have the brights. They try to ride your what, even though you're going above the speed limit. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna call them if they don't let me use my $250 that was deposited, and it's available for trading right away, because I should be able to buy what I want. I mean, this is getting, it's ridiculous, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on that. So I'll use the $250, plus a lot of distributions are getting paid, or supposed to have gotten paid yesterday, but with the typical Charles Schwab one-day lag, it'll probably get paid today. So I'll have that as well. So again, I should have a decent amount, maybe like overall $600-700 to throw in, maybe a little more. I don't know. I have to look. But regardless, I'm going to use all of what I have, and I am going to put it in to the three of them equally. And then also keep in mind, again, today's ex-dividend date, which is why I want to buy them today. So all of them will drop at least by the distribution, plus or minus the movement in the index. So if you look at IWMY, if they're paying $1.25 or whatever it is, that stock's going to drop by that, and that's a pretty big drop, right? So the next day, like Monday, it's still going to be down by that much. It's not like it's going to recover in May, but you don't know. It could go down more. So it's not like it's a rush. You have to buy it on ex-dividend date to get that full discount, because if the index continues to go down, then you'll get a better discount the next day. So again, for the people that think you have to rush to get the discount on ex-dividend date, I mean, yes, that could be true if the index is also like in a bullish, it's been bullish, because you want to get that dip before the bullish run continues. But we don't know what's going to happen. The stock market's been a little nuts lately. It's been pretty good, but we don't know. Nobody knows, all right? And everyone that pretends they do, they're lying. But yeah, that's my plan today. And I've been considering selling OARC. For many reasons. One, I just never liked ARC to begin with. I kind of just bought this because it was like one of the only ones available besides Tesla in the beginning. And I thought, okay, they're volatile. They're paying 50% yield, 60% yield at the time. And I'm like, and they're diversified, so why not? But they've been a little bit disappointing. And they're fine. Their stock, is finally recovering, which means, the OARC, ARC is recovering, which means OARC is recovering. So my capital is not down that much. With distributions, I'm actually only down, $100 or so. So for me to sell, it won't hurt, right? It won't hurt me at all to sell OARC. Any little loss will help anyway because it'll net against my taxable income for the year. So I have to think about that. I don't want to rush a decision. I may just sell little. I have 230 shares of OARC, so maybe I'll just sell the 30, make it a flat 200. I like round numbers. And then maybe I'll let the 200 ride. I don't know. I got to think about it. But yeah, that's, because there's better options. Like, would I rather, OARC, for example, yields lately around the same as AMSI or Nefli? And me personally, I'd rather have AMSI, right? I mean, that's just my opinion. I know OARC has ARC that's diversified, but into what? These companies that may or may not do well? I don't know. Maybe ARC is amazing, but again, that's not something I track. I can't track. The problem with owning all of these funds, or buying into every single fund, is you can't track them. Like, you can't, you have to be comfortable with your investment. And to me, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really look into Amazon financials or anything. I don't really look into their news, but all I do is I see Amazon boxes at my house every day. I see Amazon trucks delivering everywhere, and that's enough for me. That's okay. Oh, yeah, Amazon's taken over everything. So to me, that's my confirmation of Amazon. And then Netflix, they keep raising their prices. And people, when I talk about movies, when I see friends and family, if they bring up shows, guess what that show is on? That show is always on Netflix, right? And of course, I don't have Netflix because I'm not trying to have every damn channel. I don't even have cable. I stream. But right now I use Hulu Live, and it's okay. It's still a ripoff, honestly, in my opinion. I hate paying for TV, as you can tell. And Netflix has everything lately. I'm not gonna lie. Netflix it's the best of the best. HBO Max is okay. Stars sucks. All these others. Showtime's horrible. Showtime was good when they had all the boxing fights way back when. Outside of that, what they have, HBO was good when Sopranos was out. And they had a couple other hits after that. But Netflix just has the variety of everything. Like, every single good show, I say, oh, it's on Netflix. But, do you really want to pay that much money for Netflix? People do. So where is Netflix going? That's me replacing the research, right? The love that I see people have for Netflix is, via conversation. So again, it's not the right way to do it. I should just research the financials, see if there's the growth. Obviously, I'm sure there is, but I would, you have to be comfortable with your investment. That's the point of what I'm ranting about right now. And OARC, I'm not really comfortable with ARC because I don't know half of the crap that they invest in. You know what I mean? These are startups. These are whatever. Maybe they're AI companies and they're gonna blow up one day, right? Which, I don't really care. I don't need, blow up stocks. I have enough. Tesla is enough of a blow up stock for me to handle. Because that one, man, it's like, Tesla is a tough one. It's I love it. I love it. At the same time, man, you don't know what's gonna happen. It could pop at any moment, and then we could be, the calls could not be in our favor. The 1 week we finally 8% out of the money. What happened? Nothing. Come on. But it's sometimes you don't get that lucky. But it is what it is. It's a fun ride though. Tesla, again, that's another one. I see Teslas everywhere. And the Tesla community, they typically only go with Tesla. Like, how many people are getting the Cybertruck? A lot. And they don't even know barely what it looked like, right? They're just signing up because they're Tesla people. Or they're Elon Musk people, or, it's just amazing. So I have, again, without researching, another one. I just have faith, in the company, and it's like Elon. I'm a big fan of Elon. And I'm a big fan of him because he speaks his mind, and you don't see that anymore. Everyone's too afraid to speak their mind because they'll get canceled. Which, who cares? Who gives a crap? Again, I'm sorry for trying not to curse, but who cares, guys? Speak your mind. Life's too short to just be a minion and be a yes man, all right? Even at your job, like, come on. Everyone needs to just speak up. Speak up for yourself. You don't have to go with the flow, all right? And Elon is like the definition of speaking up. Like, he just says what he wants. And guess what? He can. And I applaud him for that. And obviously, he's a genius at the same time. So, the guy is very, very impressive. I think he said all he needs is like 4 hours sleep, which I never forget that. It was 4 or 6, and it's kind of true though. I mean, who says, how much sleep you need really? Like, it's always like, oh, you need 8 hours sleep, but do you? I don't think maybe sometimes on the weekend, but during the week, I don't get 8. I get like typically 7 hours, but I'm fine. Like today was 6. I think it was 6, yeah. And that's, it doesn't affect me, I think anything under 4 would affect me. So, the fact that, like, things like that, he probably does really sleep only 4 hours a day, right? And he gets right to his day. He probably does, that much stuff, which is motivating, right? Because people complain they have no time, like me, right? I have no time, but in reality, if I get up an hour earlier even than 4 a.m., right, I would have another hour, which is a lot of time. Like today, I got up at 3:30. I probably should have got up at 3. I would not have been rushing as much. I would have had, I wouldn't have to rush the content that I have to do when I leave the gym this morning. So my product would have been a little better to you guys. So, again, it's all to each their own. But anyway, it's motivating hearing, people like him talk. I don't even know what my topic is about anymore. But the other thing I think I wanted to mention, gotta take a sip of water, is, what are my goals to retire? And I think I mentioned this before plenty of times, but again, I'd like to have the ability to retire in 5 to 10 years with dividend income. Obviously, there's a new additional factor involved in this, and that's YouTube. So, and just YouTube. I'm not doing anything else, guys. I'm not doing, spreadsheets. I'm not selling spreadsheets. My spreadsheets are free. I'm not selling Discord memberships. I'm not doing Patreon. I'm not doing any of that. It's just YouTube, paying the income. The people that listen to me, they can go anywhere, right? I'm nothing special, right? I'm just another person talking on YouTube. This is nothing amazing, right? This is nothing out of the ordinary. The only thing I may have that others don't is I just, I do what I want, right? I speak about what I want. I don't do sponsors. I don't do whatever. I'm not selling crap. So it doesn't matter. I could say, almost whatever I want without, to an extent. You want to be, don't want to get booted, right? But maybe that's part of what attracts people. I don't know. For people to even watch this video, it's amazing. I think it's come a long way. I used to do the car videos before, and 9 out of 10 comments, if I even got that many, were like, what the hell is the point of this? Who wants to look at this guy? And now people they're like, where's the car content? I'm like, wow, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, the point was, the plan is to live off the dividend income, obviously at some point, but I want to make enough in 5 to 10 years. Again, I hope it's 5, but realistically, it's probably 10. That it's going to replace my full-time income. And the problem is, when I say full-time income, as mentioned, I have children. And the biggest expense nowadays is healthcare. So realistically, you can't, working a full-time job, at a big company, your healthcare is much cheaper than if you were to buy on your own. Or at least it always has been. I haven't even looked at the market for buying it on my own. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm just lying to myself. But yeah, so I have to consider things like that. It's not like, I'm not saying I would quit my job when I make enough to be able to retire. Because at that point, could you imagine having double income, right? I would assume I'd have the motivation to reinvest all of it to make even more money. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not in that position. So I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. But again, the goal is to get to that point to have an option. But my thinking is, the first goal is to have my wife leave her job. So she could stay home with the kids and handle the day-to-day, like a normal functioning family versus the chaos that we deal with on a day-to-day. Everything is rushing. There's no time to even breathe. And it's just chaos 24/7. And that's all we're used to. That's all we know for the past, few years. Even with the first kid, it's just, you run into work, you come home, and cooking dinner right away, and you go to bed. And that's it. And obviously now there's a little dash of YouTube in there too. So that's just been the normal life. So if we can get, it was dividend income, but like I said, if I can get the YouTube income or some of the dividend income to have my wife maybe even quit by, next year, before next summer, because summer, now that I have a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old, by the way. The 7-year-old, there's no school in the summers, and there's no daycare for him. So, but there is camp. And for those of you that have kids, camp doesn't really go as long as daycare. Their days end a little earlier, which is very inconvenient for working families because, I'm just lucky I work from home a lot of days, so it's a little easier on me because I have the luxury of being able to pick up and drop off. But, there's days where I'm going to the office and my wife's at the office and I have to ask, my parents, can you, and, can you do this? And sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. So you have to rearrange your schedules and, wait, can you take off this day? No, I can't take off this day. And then it's like, okay. But, I believe, I like camp for the kids anyway. So even if my wife was home, I would still want to put my 7-year-old in camp, just so, it's good for interaction, get out, meet friends, get out. I would still, even want to put my little one in the daycare, maybe not full time, but maybe a few days a week, just to have him be around kids, socializing. I do like that for them, but it's just, it's expensive. Camp's expensive too. Not as bad, but everything's expensive. And just, I don't know. That's the life though, right? But that's why we're here. We're investing in, these high-risk funds. Why? Why are we risking our money, right? Well, we're risking our money because we want to make money. People don't understand, every time, the naysayer comes in, they say, did QQQY or can QQQY beat the QQQ, long term? And, the short answer is no, we can't, okay? QQQ is a growth fund, so in time, typically it will have, much more growth. But in short time frames, QQQY, yes, it could be QQQ. Like on bearish days, QQQ will still, they can make a premium that'll offset some of the downside. QQQ, the downside is the downside. That's the end of it, right? Or on flat days, QQQ makes nothing, but QQQY collects all the premium. So you have to, take all of that into consideration. It's not as simple as, oh, these funds stink, there's NAV erosion, they're just going down, this is waste, let's look from inception, they went down. The argument is not that simple. So, and if people try to make the argument that simple, they're just never happy. So that's why, like, when I get the comments like that, I don't even respond to them, because it's not worth it. I can't, nor do I want to change people's minds. If people don't like it, then they don't have to buy it, right? If they don't like me covering it, they don't have to watch me. That's the beauty, right? There's no one's forcing you to do this. But anyway, I'm starting to, I guess, almost get to work. So I don't even know what to title this video, honestly. I just talked about a little bit of everything, and hopefully I didn't bore you guys to death. But if you guys have Friday commute rant suggestions, please go to the Discord and leave it in there under the YouTube video suggestions, because and try to do it closer to Friday so I remember. I don't know. But yeah, because if not, it's just going to be me talking about the week, seeing how it goes, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, that reminds me, this weekend I'll do a retire on dividends account update, see where I'm standing, see if I hit my goals, see what stocks I own. Again, I cover all the stocks I own. It's all there. And yes, I own them, obviously. I think you guys, I can show, I don't show my account from the screen a lot because I don't want people to see the personal information, but obviously if people don't believe me, I'm more than happy to show a screenshot. But regardless, I'll cover that this weekend. I'll also probably cover the Yield Max distribution estimate, or I'll call it guesstimate, because I know people like to see that. In reality, Tesla is only the one that'll have a chance on, but even that one's going to be tough. Coney, maybe, but the rest are just truly just guesses. But it's still fun. I have fun with it. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I'm almost at work, which means I can almost have a workout. Again, I love working out in the morning. It's not often I get to work out in the morning. Sometimes on Fridays, if I don't want to sleep as much, I can leave the house earlier. But the other problem is you drive an hour, you're kind of like dead. By the time I get there, I'm like zero motivation. So you kind of have to wake up again and get pumped for the workout, which, it's not easy. But I'll do my best. I'll listen to crazy music, or I'll punch myself in the face before I go in. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. And if you enjoyed it, click like. Any questions, leave in the comments. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Later.